It's time to take control over DoorDash. The power is within your hands. I'm going to dive deep into a world of DoorDash to uncover the secrets that will put you in control as a DoorDash driver. I'm going to reveal the tips and tricks that's going to change your world the way you dash forever. There's going to be times where we just feel powerless over the DoorDash algorithm. But did you know that we have the power over DoorDash and the orders that we can take? Now in this video, we're going to learn how to take control of those orders on DoorDash by maximizing the knowledge of the orders that you should take and the orders you should avoid. This will enhance your overall experience as a DoorDash driver. And as we explore these tips and tricks to regain the power and exercise the way we use the DoorDash app and how to pick the best offers. Knowing the difference between a good and a bad order will put you ahead of the game and more informed, so you will be ready to be dashing on your terms. Here's an example of a good order: $8 for 2.5 miles, and here's another $9 for 2.6 miles. Now these are actually good orders because it's over that $2 per mile ratio, and in this case, it's actually over $3. How you doing? But the bad news is, not all the orders are like this. No, it's not a perfect world. The grass is always greener on the other side, and no, Virginia, there's not a Santa Claus. But when we see less and less orders, DoorDashers get discouraged and sometimes even pressured to take bad orders. But you may ask, how is this even discouraging? But if you're even trying to keep up with your acceptance rating, you're going to be setting yourself up for some discouragement. Because when DoorDash sends you trash like this, $2.25 for 6.9 miles, or $3 for 8.3 miles, these type of orders just like needs to be banned from DoorDash. And when you see more and more orders like this, it's just frustrating. And now if you're new to this game, you're new to gig work, or you're new to DoorDash, this is what you call an upside down order, because the miles is over the money ratio. Now let's say if the roles were reversed and the mile ratio was like, there was the $6.90 for 2.5 miles, then that would have been okay. And if the other one was $8 for 3 miles, then that would be okay. That would work. This would be a better setup for us to take. Remember, never feel pressure to take a bad order for any reason. Not even to keep up your acceptance rating, not to keep up with platinum, not gold or silver. Don't take these type of orders. It is a waste of time, money, gas, oil, everything that you have to offer. I mean, these orders are so bad, Jesus wouldn't even take them. Orders like this is just like a trick of the enemy. It's like fool's gold. It's just ridiculous. It's stupid. It's terrible. It's absurd. It's ugly. It's just plain bad. And if you ever think about taking an order like this, you might want to slap yourself. And think back when we were in school where they said, just say no to drugs. Well, we need to just say no to bad orders. Now, overall, drivers think that DoorDash just uses the platinum rewards as just a manipulative tool to push out orders. But sometimes we need to think things as a business perspective and think about, what if I owned DoorDash? How would things be different? How would things might be the same? What would I do? Because I do need orders pushed out to customers. I need drivers to give a 5-star service. And now if I'm in charge, I now have to think about, how am I going to pay myself? How am I going to pay my employees? How am I going to pay for all these expenses, all these bad customer experiences? I got to pay for the expenses of this and expenses for that. Because even when I say expenses as an employee, that's not including the dashers, because since they're independent contractors, but my actual W-2 employees, how am I going to balance this all? And you got to think about the marketing too. Yeah, it's a lot to do. And yes, there needs to be like a middle ground for me as the business, the customer, and the driver's satisfaction. So I guess that's why somebody had the bright idea, hey, let's do Dasher Rewards. Let's give Silver status priority off of high-paying offers. Then we'll give the Gold increased priority. Then we give Platinum the top priority. Woo! Really? Here's the problem. As DoorDash drivers, we just don't see it. We don't feel it because we just been seeing our pay getting lower and lower and lower. to the point where we just think, oh man, this is just a scam. Then you might want to throw in the perk. Oh, now you get to schedule your dashes as a silver member. And if you get the platinum, you get to dash anytime. And this is the best thing since sliced bread. Ah! Really? Again, really? Then DoorDash would be like, yeah, really? I'm sure DoorDash and drivers would never actually come to an agreement of it be like, oh, this is going to be the plan and this is going to be wonderful and gravy for everybody. Because you never just satisfy everybody. So that's usually the problem. There's always going to be an issue. Somebody's going to say something. Somebody's going to be happy, somebody's not going to be happy, and somebody's going to be in the middle. Some people just won't care. Then you just got the people just go out and just do every order. Kind of messes things up a little bit, doesn't it? Because when you think about DoorDash, they're going to think, oh, well, there's always going to be somebody new to take these orders, so we'll just continue to push it on out. Of course, DoorDash wouldn't just state this in no press release or anything, because they want their established drivers to keep on going, right? And keep them happy, right? Then you gotta think of how DoorDash is trying to throw a bone on some of these really bad long distance orders, which is why they came out with the extra incentive to actually give the driver a little bit extra money on these long distance orders. And this has happened, even though I haven't seen it for myself in my area, but I've heard of it happening from you all. But still, most of the time, these orders are still terrible and they're upside down. Let me give you my honest opinion. I do think DoorDash attempts to help drivers and customers. They try to find a middle ground. They try to find that balance, trying to find that sweet spot. But just like parenting, you're not always going to be right. I think the rewards program is like, okay. Then you got to think, well, I'm not no child. I don't need no rewards program. And you know what? I actually really understand that, because at the end of the day, drivers just want to get paid. You might add all these little perks, but then the driver's think, is this really a perk? Overall, I believe DoorDash should treat their drivers better, increase the base pay, and offer peak pay more often. DoorDash actions speak much louder than words. Because here's the trip that I've been experiencing over and over for months. Because base pay is $2. Come on now. Then if you send me a stacked order, then it's $1 a piece. Is there any type of reward in that? Come on now. Somebody help me make sense of this. Stop lowballing drivers and pay and show real appreciation. I don't know about you, but this was a drop the mic moment and in the video, but I'm not through yet, because I want to share the 3 things that'll help you get in control as a DoorDash driver. Number 1. Hit that decline button. Do not be afraid to hit that button. You will not be deactivated just because you hit that decline. The sky will not fall. It will be okay. So let that decline button be your friend, so you can take the orders that make sense. Think of it like this. The more orders you decline, the closer you are to getting that better order. But I know some of you might be wondering, what is the ideal miles to money ratio? And of course, that will depend who you ask. Now, if you ask driver Mike, he'll say $2 plus $1.75 per mile anecdotally. And with this strategy, you're going to need multiple apps. You're going to need the multi-app, multi-niche. And trust me, if you're doing this strategy, you're going to need every app possible. You can't just work off 1 or 2 and try to get that $2 and $1.75 per mile. You'll have to have some backup plan. Talking about your apps. The only time this could actually work with 1 or 2 apps, it would have to be one of those perfect moments. Maybe it's in the evening time. Then you also have your peak pay. And also it has to be busy. All these things all at once, and you work for that 2 to 3 hours, and bam, you have your $25, $28, $29, $30 an hour. But you know what? But if you work like me, and you work more than just 2 or 3 hours at a time per shift, and you're working maybe 5, 8, 10, 12 hours in a shift, things are going to be a little bit different, because you have to change your strategy a little bit, because you're going to be working more outside of those peak times, because you're running before it, on through it, and maybe you have a slight break and you keep on going. You go on through the dinner shift and you keep on going to that nighttime around 9, 10, whatever o'clock. So there have to be times where you may have to adjust possibly $1.50-ish per mile. And even sometimes that can be tough. Overall, you need to be flexible and see what works in your market and in your area. And if you want to know more about what orders to take, please hit that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on so you will be ready when these videos drop. Now, number 2, as gaining control as a DoorDash driver, analyzing your route. Because sometimes the map is just flat out wrong. It is off. And it's going to show the store or restaurant in the completely wrong place. This happened to me here recently. Going to Dollar General, it was showing me 1025 for over 12 miles. I was like, what the mess? I look at my phone. I was like, hey, really? Huh? But it looked like it would take me all the way up here and bring me back down to the store. And I was like, well, that's not right. There's no way that's 12 miles. I took the order, and by the time I picked up that one thing of Oreos, it was only 4 miles. I basically just got 1025 for 4 miles just because of the little glitch that they had with the map. So not too bad. So how you doing? Next is be positive. Stop thinking of the negative. Find a way to make DoorDash turn around in your favor. Because this thing is a mindset. Because when we have a positive outlook, we think more clearly and faster. Is the glass half empty or is the glass half full? However, both may be true, but the positive way of thinking will give you an advantage in making less mistakes of possibly taking an order that you should have taken or vice versa. Oh, I said 3 things. Well, listen up. It's important to be a savvy DoorDash driver that is able to take control of the orders that you take on DoorDash and any other gig app. The power is within your hands or your thumb or your finger. Decline the bad orders, accept the good ones. Also, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and if you want to learn more on how to survive this gig work for the long haul, tap this video right here.